Hello, my name is Kaleb Ingram, and today I'll be showing you the effects of drugs on the brain. I will also be talking and discussing about each of drugs and how they affect the brain on a molecular level. With nothing more else to say, let's get on to the video. So here we have Naomi Smith, a rising, beautiful model coming up in the industry. To stay on top of her game, she drinks lots of coffee every day, and as you can see, she's doing this as she's getting ready. And so when you drink coffee, the caffeine actually blocks the adenosine receptors in your brain, which makes you sleepy. Therefore, you have more energy. So because you have more energy and you're not getting those sleepy signals from adenosine, as you can see, she is giving me Rihanna 2007 looks. She has lots of energy. She's bright. She's vibrant. And she's really killing her photo shoot right now. And I'm really excited to see how they look. So after a while, as you can see, caffeine will wear off and adenosine will be able to bind regularly to the cell. Because of this, our person who we have here today, Naomi, is feeling groggy, tired, and sluggish due to the adenosine binding to the cell. And here's our next subject, Barbara Jones. She actually wanted to try heroin for the first time today to see their reaction. So let's see. So heroin mimics our natural opiates in our body, which block neurotransmitters to allow the release of dopamine. Once dopamine is bound to the cell, it can give a sense of euphoria, excitement, and pleasure, as we see Barbara is feeling right now. Because dopamine is flooded throughout the synapse, this high can last for a long time and can be very intense for first-time users, as we see with Barbara. Hello. My husband will be in the next video. He is an alcoholic, yes, but he's not always acting like that. Now, as you will see in the video, he has lots of motor coordination. His reasoning is always impaired. His reaction times are going to be slow. His speech is slurred, and he's just not himself. So don't judge him, okay? Just don't. Alcohol goes into the brain and interacts with GABA receptors in the neuron, making the cell even more inhibited. It blocks glutamate receptors as well, so that glutamate cannot excite the cell. The next patient we have today is Bob, and Bob is taking a shot of cocaine through his nose, which blocks transporters, making dopamine trapped in the synapse. Through reuptake, dopamine is continuously bound to the cell, overstimulating the cell, resulting in the cell being very excited and giving the person a very long-lasting high. In this high, a person may do a variety of different things due to the euphoria that is felt, as you can see with the wacky and wany dances that our patient Bob is attempting to do today. As you'll see with my next patient, little Timmy, not all drug users are doing them intentionally. As you saw, little Timmy took methamphetamine orally, and meth is taken into the cell by dopamine transporters, and once their meth enters the vesicles containing dopamine and forces the dopamine out into the synapse, leading to the dopamine to continuously be bound to the cell, stimulating it, resulting in a high and a very apparent state of euphoria. Methamphetamine is very addictive, and this can be very damaging to the body and brain over time, leading to damages of nerve cells and nerve endings. So, tobacco ain't that bad, but here's some facts about it, because, people always want to call it bad. So, this chewing tobacco right here, man, not that smoke stuff. So, chewing tobacco orally actually it takes longer for the effects of nicotine to get into your brain. Actually, 3 hours to be exact. And so, compared to smoking, or any type of nicotine you're taking, it's shaped like the very versatile neurotransmitter acetylcholine, or whatever that's called, which mimics its behavior. This activates the reward centers in the brain and gives you pleasure. In other words, dopamine is released. So there are different ways that, drugs can get to your brain. This doesn't have to be about nicotine. It can be about any drug. So the two fastest ways are going to be injection and inhalation. Remember that 2 I's, like Ingram, the person who made this project who should get an A? Yeah. So, yeah. Then you got snorting and snuffing, up the nose, what you would do with cocaine. And then you have ingestion. Now, I don't really know why you'd be doing that, but if you do, that's what would be the slowest way to get it into your brain. So this also be the slowest way to feel the effects of the drugs, because that's how long it's going to take to get into your bloodstream and up to your brain. So, yeah. So drug abuse is using the drug over long periods of time that negatively affect your body and your health. Drug addiction is when your body and brain become physically and biologically dependent on the substance to stay functioning at a regular level. When you start using a drug, you build a tolerance for the drug, and the tolerance will keep raising the more and more you use a drug. Eventually, you'll have to use a drug X amount of time to be able to function at a regular level. The long-term effects of drug addiction and drug use include impairment of your motor function, learning capability, memory, reasoning, and judgment, including many more. One way a person can effectively live with the chronic disease of addiction is going to rehab. Going to rehab and talking to a counselor or people who have been through the same experience as you can be very beneficial and provide hope to your road through sobriety. For conclusion, to sum up the Robert scenario, I believe that Robert suffers from drug addiction, obviously due to his 4 different accounts of being arrested for drug possession. I believe that the judge made the right call to give him a drug treatment program, which will help him get rehabilitated and be a better person to society. Thank you. This was my drug and assessment of the brain video.